Welcome to the Let's Talk BS podcast. I'm Bryan.
And I'm Sofia, and we're coming to you live from the
757.
Good morning, Bryan.
Hey, good morning, Sofia. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, but I think you should turn your mic.
Turn my mic, yeah. There we go. You loud. Matter of fact, turn the sound down a little bit too over there, if you don't mind. A little to the left. We had a little technical difficulties a little bit this morning.
Put the sound down. Where?
Just turn mine down, my mic down a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There we go. All right, hello. Yes, much better. Yeah, it was loud. You was real loud. Real loud. How you doing there? How's everything been going?
Everything is good. Everything is good. What about you?
All is well. Can't complain. Friday. You know, we typically record on Fridays, so it's the end of the work week. So
Yep.
yeah.
It's a good day.
Yeah.
It's I think it's gonna be warm this weekend too.
Yeah, I was looking at that radar. I think I might play some golf this weekend. You know what I mean? Try to maybe play some tomorrow, I'm thinking. I think tomorrow's supposed to be in the 60s.
Yeah,
so,
I think so.
Yeah,
well,
so.
I don't think it's supposed to be 60. I think it's supposed to be at like 57 or 55 or something like that, which is
my Apple phone said different. Hold on.
okay.
Yeah, it doesn't say 64. It say 64 for Saturday. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I think I'm gonna probably try to play some golf tomorrow. So,
Nice.
Yeah. I see next week too. It looks like next weekend is actually supposed to
Snow.
be in the 20s.
Yeah, it's supposed to snow.
Oh,
There's
it
a
is?
chance of snow on Tuesday. Is that what your Apple Watch radar says?
No, you got the same thing I got. What you say? You try to like I got something like I'm trying to got something special over here. You got the exact same thing I got.
I'm just making sure we got the same device because I swear I checked that yesterday because
yeah. We talked about this a long time ago.
Weekend.
Virginia weather. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Yeah.
It always changes.
Yeah.
So
you
what
got
you been
plans
up
this
to?
weekend? What you got going on this weekend?
Well, you know me. I'm not as organized as you are when it comes to planning trips, but potentially thinking about going up north. I just haven't confirmed it yet.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Cool.
Possibly to D.C.
Oh, nice. I remember you mentioned that you're trying to get up to D.C. And I know it'll be good because this weekend is Martin Luther King weekend or holidays on Monday.
It's a holiday weekend, 4-day weekend. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
3-day weekend, not 4-day.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well, my daughter, she was off yesterday. She pretty much has a half a day today.
Oh, word. Okay.
And off Monday. So when she said 4-day weekend to me, I was like, oh, okay. And I repeated it on accident. But yeah, you're right.
What's at a school like? Is it just her school specifically, or like Chesapeake Public Schools going all out?
No, it's people SOL week.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay.
Apparently, here in Virginia or in Chesapeake specifically, if you're testing your SOL, you don't have to technically stay at the school all day.
Oh, okay.
You get to leave early, and then if you don't have that subject to test in, you don't come to school at all. So,
Got you.
Yesterday was English SOL. And this semester, she's not taking English.
Okay,
so
okay.
She didn't have to go to school. But today, I believe, is either science or social studies. So she had to go. But then after the SOL is finished, then she can call me, and I can pick her up.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, exactly. So good times. Yesterday, I took her to the gym with me. Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
She complained about every exercise and claimed to be in more shape than I am. Every exercise. We got on the row to start with.
The row machine?
Row machine.
Okay.
2 minutes in, she was like...
Now, the row's hard, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's not hard, but it is. If you've never done the row before, it'll, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, even people who are in shape, like, I mean, I've done it myself, and then other people I know, like, you know, they're like, yo, the row machine is different because it's just like using muscles that you're not really, you know.
Yeah. So I typically, when I go to the gym, that's like my warm-up, 5 minutes, you know. That or the stair stepper.
Okay.
Are my warm-ups. And so after that, I was like, okay, well, then, you know, you slacked a little bit on the row. I was like, let's go to the Stairmaster and do 10 minutes on there. 3 minutes in, she was like, yeah, I'm tired of this. And I was like, why? Like, you just got on here. So then she got off and she went to it's like an elliptical, but it wasn't a full elliptical. It was one that had shorter distance. Maybe it was a smaller elliptical. I don't know. She did that for a little bit. And then I was like, all right, well, then let's just go weight train. We get over there to weight train. She barely is doing the exercises. She doesn't want to squat. She doesn't want to do kettlebell swings. She doesn't want to do anything. And I was like, you just told me you wanted to get back in shape. And it was funny because when we first walked in, the guy at the front, obviously, he was doing his job. He's like, oh, yeah, let's get her a membership. And I was like, sir, let's wait until she comes consecutively for a few times before we get into membership talk.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I understand. But never again.
So
will I take her to... I feel like she slowed me down. She slowed my workout down.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess because she played volleyball for high school this year, and I know the season's over. Do you know if like they work out at the school, like
in the gym and like lifting weights? Yeah, like lifting weights
and like some of the same stuff that not. I know they ain't got a stair stepper and a row, probably not have a row machine in there, but like just like lifting weights. Do they do that during the season?
I don't even know. I never asked her. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know they don't run a lot. So then at the very end, I was like, okay, do you want to get on a treadmill or do you want to do machine weights? Mm-hmm. So she was like, let's just do machine weights. So we did all legs. But I was like, oh my gosh, like I could as many sports as she played over the last year. This is like her first real break, guys.
Yeah.
And I thought she was going to be in way more shape.
Yeah.
And she wasn't.
Yeah, but honestly, I mean, I can even remember back when I was young, around the same age as she, and it don't matter if you're in shape. If you're doing something, especially that young too, right? If you're doing something that you've never done before, your muscles and bodies has never like done it before, like it's gonna be difficult initially. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but I feel like out of all people, it should be difficult for me.
Yeah, but I mean, I would think that if you didn't do, I mean, you're working out, right? You said you worked out with her, right?
Yeah.
These exercises you've all done before, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like she's never done these before, right? Like she's never done a row machine. She's never done...
Never done a row, but she's definitely done steps.
Oh, she's done stair stepper.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how long ago? Do you know how long ago it's been? It's been probably a while, right? Mm-hmm. So when you first get back on the stair stepper after doing it a while, that joint, it hit a little different, don't it?
That's true.
That's all I'm saying. I think for her,
but just... 2 minutes?
Well, I don't know. I mean...
On one?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. You could climb a flight of steps.
And I will say this too. Look, I think people out there. Yeah, I agree. I'm just putting perspective. I agree with you, but I also think that you got to think about this too, though, right? We both in our 30s, late 30s, right? You would agree to that? 30s, late 30s. Okay, I don't want to put your age out there. Late 30s. Okay.
I'm 36. How old are you?
Okay, 37.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, you know how people say grown man strength is like men's strength. Like I think women have that as well. Like compared, so your strength and what you're able to do, you're capable of doing, I would say is much more than, your daughter who's 14, 15 years old.
I understand that. I get that. But at the same time.
And endurance too. I think we have, just because our body has been through so much. You didn't have babies, all that. So it's just like your body is just programmed a little differently than a person that's 14, 15. Even if they in shape, even if they can run and all that, I mean, it's different.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, so she did not do as well as I thought she was going to do. I thought she was going to go in there and beat me at my own game. But then after we went and got some Eritrean food and came home and I worked a little bit and then it was pickup time for the rest of the children.
Gotcha.
I said that like I got 10 kids. For the rest of my children.
Yeah. Like you got, I know I'll be watching those shows. It's a show called Down with the Doricos. It comes on, is it TLC? I think it's TLC. But Brooke, she got me watching it with her. We watched it for a couple of years now.
I was about to say, like, why are you, like, how do you get on that show?
Yeah.
I don't even watch shows like that.
So it's called Down with the Doricos, and all it is a family. It's a husband and wife, and they live in Las Vegas, and they got, I think, 12, 13 kids, I want to say.
Ain't no way.
And it's crazy. Just watching, like, and they do very well. Like, I'm sitting here with 2 kids, like, oh, my gosh. Like, they got 12 of them. And then the dude, he does, which is pretty cool, he's into real estate, right? That's what kind of caught my eye. That's what kind of got my attention to it a little bit. Because anytime people are doing real estate, I always kind of just see what's going on.
Yeah.
And so he does real estate. Like, he's not a real estate agent, but he's more like an investor. Like, he'll buy properties, fix them up, and flip them or whatever, right? And so his mother called her Gigi. That's her nickname. That's what the kids call her. That's what he calls her. So she comes and helps set in the house. And then he has a really a best friend who was in jail for a while, who was down on his luck, who kind of like he put under his wing and kind of mentored him. He comes over and helps with the kids as well. And the crazy thing about it is they're all homeschooled too, which is the crazy thing. Besides one, the oldest, she's like in high school now or whatever. So just the dialogue of all the kids. One of the kids had to have a major surgery on his head because his head is like huge, and like they were saying like something was wrong with his skull, so they had to like do something to it.
His brain was too big for his skull, probably.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was, man. But yeah, like so it just seeing them like when they go like travel places and go do things, like they just like it's like a whole football team that comes out. It's just it's crazy. So when you said that, that's what made me think about that, a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I personally could not have 12 kids.
Yeah. And they be sitting there, and then they didn't had a couple of times where like she thought she was pregnant again, and then they had, I think one of them had a miscarriage a couple of times recently. So it's just like I'm like, yo, get off of each other, like, or at least do something where you can't have kids no more, like, cause they sitting there like, oh my gosh, about it. And the house they have is not very big, like it's like something like couple of rooms like 5 to 6 to a room. Yeah, it's crazy. Pretty good.
What?
Kids to a room.
Oh, they only have like a 4-bedroom or something?
I think it's probably 5-bedroom house. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so they were talking about like getting a new house and all of that or whatever, and but yeah, it's a pretty good show. Then they were talking about moving and all of that, so it was pretty cool.
Kudos to those folks that can have a million kids and they okay with it, because one thing I can't do is have a whole bunch of kids and homeschool them. Yeah, oh my gosh,
homeschooling is crazy.
I know someone here locally that homeschools. And her kids don't go to school at all. Yeah. Now, do I work for my kids and help them with their schoolwork to boost them ahead of where they are in their curriculum at school? Absolutely. But to homeschool, to sit there and have 6 or 7 subjects and we go over them daily, 5 days a week, there is absolutely no way.
Yeah. Shout out to my guy, Brock. He just joined Onyx, my buddy's brokerage. I know him and his wife, they have, I think, 3 to 4 kids, and his wife, they homeschool. So I seen him at the Onyx party. We kind of got to catch up a little bit. His wife was there with him, and so yeah, that's tough. I couldn't imagine doing that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can help out, like you said. I help out with the education and all that at home, but as far as like me being the sole, provider,
educator,
that's not happening.
Yeah, I can't do that either. Kudos to the people who can. Man, oh man.
What else was What else was your week like? What else you had going on? Anything come up? Any fun things that you do? Or
no, not really. I mean, last weekend was my daughter's birthday. We went to get some Eritrean food again. Eritrean food.
That sounds good too. I haven't had something in a minute. That sounds real good, actually.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Yeah. I mean, you know that, but I
think I actually put you on to that spot. Matter of fact, too, if I'm not mistaken. I think.
Yeah. You did. You put me on to the spot here locally.
Yeah.
Because I think I was wanting some. And then you mentioned that there was a restaurant here. And I was like, oh, for real?
Yeah.
Because at first, what I was doing was cooking it myself. And I would buy some injera from, like, some Habesha lady who lived here in Virginia Beach. Yeah. I would go to her house. She would, make me a 10-pack. It was like a little, it was a little deal,
10-pack.
It was either I'd get a 10 or a 20,
Yeah.
And so I would cook, and then, I would eat. And when you told me about the restaurant here, I was like, oh man, this hits the spot, because when you don't feel like your house smelling like, all that food, you're like, shoot, restaurants sound real good right now. So we did that. We went there last weekend for her birthday because that's what she requested, and then she requested to have her sleepover, so she did. She had a sleepover.
I remember us talking about that. How did that go?
Yeah, it went good. Yeah. So we went to Target that Saturday, and I got them like a murder mystery game.
Okay.
So basically what it is it's a mystery or a murder in a box, and you have to be the forensic scientist or the detective to figure out who did the crime.
Okay.
And so they give you like, a kit. It has, your primary suspects, it tells you like every step, almost like No. What's the thing where you go into the room and you try escape room?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that, but you're figuring out who did it.
Okay.
And so they did that. Let me see. That next morning, I got up. I made them French toast, and then
My kids love French toast too, by the way. Brooke makes that all the time for them. It's like a certain bread that she gets, I guess, that makes it like it's like a croissant bread or something like that, but it's like, it's like the actual French toast kind of bread that you get from the store.
You're talking about Texas toast?
Nah, it's not Texas toast. It's I'll send you a picture of it. We have it at home, yeah. But she made it 2 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I made some croissants, and then I did like the powdered sugar with the fruit on top and all that stuff. And then I juiced, because I've been into this whole juicing thing.
Okay.
So I juiced that morning, and then we did like a bunch of different concoctions. We made all kinds of stuff that morning.
Okay.
So that was pretty cool. Then we went for a walk, went to the park. And then after that, we just came home, and then I made some street tacos, and we just chilled for the rest of the day on Sunday. And then Monday was back
Did they
to
stay,
normal.
I guess, how many friends does she have come over?
Just one.
Just one person? Okay.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah. I don't think my mind is at that capacity to handle.
Have multiple kids? Yeah. I remember sleepovers when I was growing up, man. That was like my favorite thing to do. I never wanted people to come to my house, though. My parents were too strict. So, like, I would always like to stay at my friend's house because their parents were a lot more lenient.
Yeah.
You know, so I had
My
a phone.
kids tell me I'm strict all the time. They're like, "You're so strict. I don't ever do anything." I'm like, "What? You do a lot."
Yeah. But they're probably speaking from the perspective of their friends and what their friends are probably able to get away with. Your daughter's probably just not able to get away with
Hell
as
no.
much.
Nope.
So that's the thing. So that's how I was looking at it too. When I was growing up, I was
I am there every step of the way.
you're present.
Yes, I am one of those active, present parents. Yes, I check phones. I do spot checks. I do everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they get older, you have to.
Yeah,
You
no,
don't have a
I feel you. I
choice.
feel you on that one. I know.
Yeah.
I know my
I come in. Let me see your phone. Okay, I'll be back in a couple hours.
Yeah, I remember growing up. Like I said, just my parents were. My mom was pretty nice. My dad was very, very strict. So, you know, a lot of times I didn't even want my friends to come over and like stay the night because like we had to operate within the rules of the house. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And my parents' rules was a lot stricter than like, you know, I go to my friend's house. I could stay on the phone. I had a phone curfew growing up. You know, being out. I could be outside kind of a little bit. You know, later it was kind of weird. I can be outside longer than I can be on the phone, which was kind of crazy when you think about it. Mm-hmm. But you know, we were able to hang out and do stuff. You know,
because back then, I think if you was on the phone, you tied up the line.
Well, so the whole reason, I'll tell you this, the whole reason, because me and my dad had a conversation, I actually was mad, right? I was real bad. I would be on the phone with a girl, you know, and mind you, I played sports, so I didn't get home from school till like 6:30. I had to do my homework, eat dinner, so I didn't get ready to be able to do any extra activities or whatever till like 8 o'clock. And I had a 9 o'clock phone curfew. So it was just like, you know, back then, you know, I don't know how it was. I didn't have a cell phone, but, you know, you could like, you know, sit there talk on the phone to, you know, whoever you're talking to, right? Mm-hmm. And so it was just, everybody in school knew that I had a phone curfew, man. Everybody knew that it was 9 o'clock was my phone curfew. So I remember a couple of times I'd be on the phone and I'd be sitting there talking to somebody. And then my dad's phone, "Son, it's 9 o'clock. Hang the phone up." That was so embarrassing. You know what I mean? And so one time, I remember I just went to him. I was like, "Dad," I was like, why are you making me get off the phone at 9 o'clock? Like, I'm not disturbing them. I'm in my room. I ain't doing nothing. I'm outside playing, doing nothing in the streets. Like, I'm sitting here on the phone talking to somebody. And he was like, "Well, you know I got to wake up at 4:30 every morning. And if I don't have a certain time where you can't be on the phone, then the phone's going to be ringing all night. And that's going to keep waking me up. So 9 o'clock's the time. Don't ask me again." That's what he said. I was like, "Well, dang. Okay." So, yeah, that was my phone curfew growing up, which it sucked, but it is what it is.
So I don't remember having a phone curfew. I don't remember that.
And I remember
I had a phone in my room, though.
See, I didn't.
Oh, yeah. So I had my own phone in my room, and it was funny because my dad bought me this phone that had, like, a headset. So, like, it was like a little box, and you would put it on a charger port, but it had like a whole headset, so you could walk around talking wireless.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Okay.
Well, not wireless, but wireless.
Okay.
And so back then, I didn't care about phones that much, so I would always leave the phone off the charger, so it'll be dead 80% of the time.
Yep.
And so then we ended up upgrading to cordless.
Yep.
And so we had 4 phones in the entire house. We had one in the kitchen, which was cordless, so you could use that on the first floor as you please. I believe that phone ended up having like, you remember back in the day they had certain phones, house phones, where you can go actually step outside your house and use it.
Yeah.
And you could walk maybe like a block and it'll still work.
My joint would go to the block, go to probably the drive.
Oh no, ours you could actually walk.
I could start hearing like other people's conversations.
Right.
That was weird. Like it was real,
So we had that on the first floor.
Yeah.
My mom had the old school iron joint. You know the one that was heavy?
The wood joint. Yeah, we had a wood iron joint.
Yeah, it was real heavy, like with the dial.
Yeah, the little spin dial. It had like the little like almost like binoculars, like you know what I mean, you put the joint up to your phone, like face like that. Yeah.
She had that, and then I had mine with the headset. And then we had a phone in the basement where there was another room down there.
I always wanted to live in a house with a basement. I always thought that was fire.
Oh yeah, it is pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, I really like having a basement because it's almost like a second living space. Correct. So usually your basement is gonna mimic whatever you have on your upper floor.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have like a living space. You may have a bedroom or two.
Yeah.
Sometimes a lot of people they put their laundry rooms down there just so you don't have the dynamic of like your water heater bursting and all those different things. But having a basement was key growing up, and we used to hang out there all the time.
Yeah, growing up here, you know, obviously we in a major flood area, so basements is really not a thing here. But I always was like, man, I always thought those were sweet. I used to see, you know, like people like on TV with the basements, and I always thought it was cool. I was like, yo, once I get older, you know, I didn't know where I was going to live. I ended up living in the same area that I grew up, so you know that didn't change. But you know, I was like, man, if I end up living somewhere, I'm gonna have a sweet basement. I'm gonna have it like nice decked out. Now I do at my house. I do got a man cave where I got it set up nice for, you know, kind of what I would probably do for a basement. I would do a little bit more though if I had a basement, but at least I got like a moderate version of it. So
kind of. Yeah. But see, you in the homes that have basements, that's where you entertain. You don't entertain in your man cave, do you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When people like if somebody. When people come over like to watch like a fight or watch a football game, that's where we hang out at.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, we hang out there, or if we like, you know, smoking a cigar or something, I have like a sunroom that we'll go out there because it's, you know, the air, not smoking in the house. But yeah, people just come over to chill. We watching a fight or
that's
whatever.
Where you guys hang.
Yeah, that's where we hang out. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's where we hung at in our basement when I had a whole bunch of company. And my mom was like, "Don't have them people upstairs in my house." And then she had like the den and the living room, and the living room had white furniture. So if you were growing up with a parent like mine, she was like, "Don't you touch that furniture. Yeah. When you walk through that room, you walk on the mat,
the carpet joint.
No, not even the carpet. Well, we had the plastic mat.
My grandma had those plastic
the ones that got the little things that seep into the carpet.
Yeah, man.
You flip that thing over, you step on it.
Yeah. I actually had that. My cousin played a trick on me. Matter of fact, at my grandma's house one time, and he did that. He flipped it. He flipped the joint on me, and I stepped on that joint, man. I jumped up. Yeah. I almost broke my leg jumping up.
And it was almost like walking on a bridge on a tightrope because you couldn't cross over.
Yeah.
It was your straight path to get to where you needed to
go. Yeah.
She was like, nope, do not go in that room. Just look at it. Don't even breathe.
I didn't understand it. My mom, you know, growing up, my parents had a room like that. My mom was the one that kind of like, you know, kept it up. I never understood that. What was the point of having a room that nobody could ever go in? But my mom would spend so much time in there, like putting stuff, cleaning it. I'm like, if we're not gonna use it, then what's the point of even like doing that?
I used to hate that room.
We would literally go. We would go in that room because we would go in that room for Christmas because our Christmas tree was in there, right?
Yep, me too.
So we would go in there when my mom would put the Christmas tree in the corner.
So we would to take pictures for something.
Yeah.
A dance.
Something. We would go in there. We would go in there for literally for Christmas. And then when we first moved in the house, we would have Thanksgiving in there for a little bit. Like it was kind of like for show. Like we would go in there, like hey, and then we would actually go eat over here, like in the living room area where we normally hang out at. But it was just kind of like because the room was so nice, we would kind of like just be in there for like say grace real quick, and then you wouldn't actually eat the food in that room. You know what I mean? I'm like, what's the point? What's the point of us like doing this? Like it was just very weird to me. Like why are we keeping this room up if we're never actually gonna buy furniture for it, buy stuff to put on the wall, plants and stuff, and she like these little dolls and stuff. I'm like, what the heck is going on, man?
Yeah, my mom had these little knickknacks that you put on the table, and so when I had to clean, guess who had to clean all the little knickknacks? So I had to take the Windex or whatever it was that she wanted me to clean with at the time and wipe each individual thing and put it back, but I couldn't leave fingerprints. Yeah. Couldn't do it. I had to move tables, like end tables and side tables. That's probably why now, as an adult, I don't have coffee. I have one coffee table in one of my living rooms, I don't have any end tables. None of that. I don't have any of that. And I think that I'm scarred.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Because there is no way.
I can understand that. I remember, man, my sister, she used to be scared of those dolls. My mom used to collect like the porcelain dolls.
Oh.
And she used to be scared of them joints, man. So I used to like play a trick. I'm like, yo, they looking at you. They looking at you because you had to walk, like when you walk in the house, it was like over to your left. And like you could see like the little dolls just sitting there just looking at you like that. And so she would like try to run up the steps real quick because the stairs are right in the front of the house. So I'm like, hey, Diamond, look, they looking at you. She started taking off, like, when they try to make eye contact with the dolls and nothing like that. I
wonder what is the thing with porcelain dolls, man. And why, like.
I don't get it.
It has to be some type of history behind it. I'm curious because a lot of like older people, I'm not saying that your mother's old, but a lot of older people, they had those porcelain dolls.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
my mom didn't have them, but my dad, he bought like one of those Christmas dolls, and the doll would sing a song and twist.
Oh yeah, I used
to the side.
Stuff. Yeah, we had those too.
And we
had a Santa Claus that would like move like that. We were like, that was.
And I was like, why do we have this? This is so weird. And then right when he was getting ready to pass, he started like giving me things from my childhood. So I got one of those. Yeah. I got this little horse. I got the blanket that I came home from the hospital in.
Yeah.
I got a couple coats that my dad saved from when I was a kid. And I'm like, what am I going to do with this? He was like, let your daughters wear it. I'm like, they're not going to wear this.
Yeah. It's funny. My mom once, so my mom still has the outfit that I came home with.
From the hospital?
From the hospital. It was like this blue joint. It was like, mind you, I was born in December, right? So it was like really like a cold kind of outfit, right?
Yeah.
It was like furry and stuff or whatever. And so she was hell-bent on when I had my first child, she wanted me to like put him in that same outfit. So like we watched
in July?
it. That's what I mean by August, same thing.
I mean.
Yeah, so that's what I said. So we literally, she was like, take a picture, make sure you do it. So I had to do it. Sometimes I'd be like, I'm going to do something and I don't really do it or whatever little stuff. But my mom was like hell-bent on it. So I was like, all right. So we was in the hospital. Like I took him out of like the outfit that I really wanted to have him in. But he actually was in majority of the time. And like put him in, the outfit my mom wanted or whatever. So she could see, him in that. Because she came up to the, she was at the hospital and everything. Then I switched it out. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But she was like, I really want, Bryan, could you please do this? She kept talking to Mom. I'm like, okay, Mom, I got you.
Yeah, that's cute. Yeah, I got all three of my kids' first outfit from when they came home from the hospital as well.
Yeah.
And I still have the hospital bracelets.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, they're like in this...
like a box or something?
No, a photo album.
Photo album, okay.
Yeah. So I have like a photo album of like pictures in the hospital, and then all three of them have like their bracelets, my bracelets from when I was in the hospital. And so it was funny because the other day I was like, we have this big bookshelf, and like we have so many books on there that it's overwhelming. And now they're just like books everywhere. So one of the books that's on the bookshelf is this one particular album. And in the album, it had all this stuff. So the kids was like, oh my God, Maya was like, this is my bracelet from 15 years ago? Oh my God. And she was looking at it. I was like, yeah. She's like, you still have this? I was like, why wouldn't I have it? I mean, was I supposed to come report this information to you? Like,
Right.
But yeah.
That's cool. Well, so a couple things happened to me this past week. It was pretty cool. Last Friday when we recorded that evening, I mentioned that me and three of the other fellas, we normally get together around this time of the year and just kind of go over like what the past year was, some of our successes, some of our failures, and then what we got going on for the upcoming year. And so it was pretty cool. We tried a place actually connected to the casino in Portsmouth. It's a place called Admiral Steakhouse.
Okay.
Admiral Steak and Seafood, I think it's called, actually.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. I had I got there a little early, so I was at the bar, got me a nice little something drink. I can't remember the name of it. It had like whiskey and stuff in it. It was like something, but it was really, really good. And I had oysters while I was waiting as well, oyster Rockefeller, so that was really good.
Okay. Sounds good already.
Right. But yeah, then the rest of the fellas got there, and we ate. It was good. I had lamb. I had some lamb chops that I heard those were something that I was told was very, very good there. So I tried those out. Those were really, really good.
Okay.
I think Cavell had like scallops. I think Christian had like a burger, and Ray had a steak. But it was cool. We were sitting there talking, man. We literally was there for like, I think the reservation was for 7. I got there like 6:45, so I got there a little early. But we were there till like 10. Like we literally sat there and talked about everything. It was funny. Just catching up with the fellas on that level. We talk pretty frequently, but we always talk about work stuff, but just kind of catching up. But it was crazy because what we always do is, we've been doing this now for 5 years. So what we do is one of us pick up the bill, right? And so this time around, typically we'll have it like where, we'll just alternate. One person does it, one person does it, one person does it, one person does it. So now we were on our 5th year, we were like, hey, let's do it randomly. So they call it credit card roulette, where you kind of put your card like in something. Cavell was wearing a hat that day, so we put it in his hat, and we had the waitress come and like fill around and grab a card, right? And so typically I pay with my American Express card, right? But the American Express card I have is like it's like heavy, like it's like I don't know what it's made out of or whatever it's called, but I didn't want her to like be reaching around and feel that and like that attract her hand and pick my card. So I used another card that I never use just so we can blend in with the rest of the credit cards. And they picked my card. And so I was like, dang. So I ended up having to pay for the bill.
Should have used the heavy card.
Yeah, maybe. You're right. Maybe it could have done the opposite, where it maybe like she'd be like, oh, I'm not going to grab that one. But I just felt like maybe because it would like, oh, just,
that's how my credit card is. I think it's made of like some type of metal or something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's real.
It actually like dings like titanium or something on it.
Like, I know every time I go, like even when I go play golf, like when I go pay the guy, he always jokes about it. He's like, dang, man. He was like,
you must got a lot of money in this.
He always jokes around with me, whatever. When I always,
I get that all the time.
But yeah, so I ended up having to pay the bill, man. But I told him, I was like, look, next year if we do the same thing, look, I ain't paying 2 years in a row, so y'all gonna have to do something. Y'all gonna have to take my card out or something. I don't know, but
it'll be just your luck.
Right. But nah, that was cool, man. It was real cool catching up with the fellas. So that's what I did on Friday, and then Saturday, nothing much, just kind of chilled. Sunday though, which was really really dope, was my son's first basketball game this season. So he played basketball last year through the Y. And he did all right. I mean, that was his first time playing. I think he just, it took him a couple of games just to understand what offense and defense was. Like, it was just so much going. You know how the kids are at that age. They're just running back and forth. They don't know what's going on. And so now, though, we've been practicing a lot at home, like almost every day. And so he understands it. We watch it together. And so his first game, we did it through a different organization, too. It's called I9 Sports, which they're actually a really, really good league. I really like them. And so we played, he had his first game, and my man did really, really good. He got the first assist of the game, and then he hit one of the shots at the end for them to win 12-10.
Oh, nice.
So it was cool, man. Like, he came up, because he had shot a couple of shots during the game he missed, and then I could see that he kind of like would deflect. He didn't want to like keep missing, you know what I'm saying? So, towards the end of the game, though, like we needed points because we were losing.
Yeah.
And so he hit a shot, and it was a pretty decently deep shot, too. And he scored, and he was like, everybody was like jumping up, and he was running out of court. He just started doing some stuff with his arms, like, I don't know, just doing some weird stuff the kids do. But, man, that joint was dope, man. That was really, really cool, man, to see him, excited like that and to see him have fun in doing it, what I mean? And now, since then, I mean, he's been locked in. Like, I got him another basketball, because the basketball they use is a little bit smaller than the ball that I have at home. So, like, I got him a basketball. He's just like, I mean, drill out. He wants to, like, he's all in with it. So I'm very excited for him when it comes to that. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty
nice. Yeah. My neighbor, she was like, "Did you enroll Carter into basketball?" I was like, "Girl, no." I was like, "I'm taking a seasonal break from all sports."
I feel you.
I told Maya that she could potentially do volleyball over the summer, do some clinics. I was like, but she asked me, could she get a job? And I was like, listen, I'm not going to be your if you want a job, you need to find a job that you can walk to. And she looked at me and was like, walk to? I was like,
man.
What do I look like? I'm not Uber. Like, come on now.
Well, I know you live like off of like a main road where there's a lot of places that would you be okay with her walking from y'all house all the way to there?
Probably not, but I know that her lazy ass ain't finna walk either. So I had to think of something that I knew she wasn't gonna do.
That's funny. That's funny how we do it. But it'd be funny if they actually take you up on that joint, be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? That's
okay, because I bet you that first time that she walked, let's say she have an early morning shift or an evening shift, and it's, during the summer it gets, it's light pretty late, but in that winter, soon as she see the dust come and she trying to walk, nah, she too scary for that.
Yeah.
She don't even like walking in the neighborhood. She don't even like going outside to take the dog out at night.
Kids these days ain't built like how we was built, man.
Oh, no.
Remember our parents used to say, man, I used to walk 5 miles to here, man. Like, I ain't walked 5 miles, but I used to walk. Like, we used to, in my neighborhood, I mean, we would walk. Listen,
we was outside. That's what that means.
We walk a lot. It was. I mean, we would ride bikes too a lot too. Like that was like our thing. Mm-hmm. But I mean, we would walk too though. Like if walking wasn't, if we wanted to go do something, and I'm talking about, it wasn't like stuff that was like close either.
No.
Like, the neighborhood I lived in, shout out College Park. It was a pretty big neighborhood, and I lived like way like on the left side of it. Like nobody really lived near where I did. So a lot of times I would have to walk or ride a bike just to hang out with them, or we wanted to go play basketball or like go to the shopping center and hang out in the front of the shopping center or whatever, try to, go to the corner store. Like, you would have to go pretty far to kind of go to those places, man.
Absolutely. That's how it was for me, too. I mean, I remember I went to an academy school when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
And so I went through to one of them things where you are in school, you're at the same school from like kindergarten or first grade, I think that's when I got there, all the way up until you could stay there till 8th grade.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But then all my neighborhood friends, they went to regular, like, schools. I don't even know how to explain that, but it was just, different, you know? Yeah. So I was like, Ma, I want to go to a real middle school, like a 7th and 8th grade middle school only. And she was like, nah. And so I just let it go. And I ended up having to go to this particular school for 7th grade. But then 8th grade came, and my friends from the neighborhood who went to the same school as me, their parents ended up letting them go to the middle school. Yeah. So I was like, Ma, they parents let them go, and all of us smart. I was like, can you just let me go? So she ended up letting me go to the regular middle school, but I had to walk. That was the alternative. And in Michigan, let me tell you, snow was like 5 to 6 inches in the winter at minimum. You hear me? We walked in that. It was like walking through a blizzard to school. And
yeah, that's crazy.
I know for sure kids here wouldn't even be able to do that at all.
Yeah, I agree.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were about that life.
About that life.
And we did it like in we walked in groups. So like, the people who were furthest away from the school, they would come to my house, get me, and then we would go to the next spot, and then we would travel and get the next group of people until we got to the school. And then that's how it was on the way back home every day.
Yeah, no, I understand.
But a lot of things happened on this walk.
Yeah, I bet.
Fights.
I bet.
All kinds of stuff.
I bet. Yeah, we used to,
but it was pretty cool because we looked out for one another. Yeah. So our parents weren't worried at all.
Yeah, and that's how you develop, like, I mean, there's friends that I still, I wouldn't even say like they're friends because I don't talk to them on a frequent basis, but they're people who I like still, because I grew up the same area I grew up and had those memories and moments with. I'm still here. Like I see them, and it's like cool when you run into them or see them on Facebook or or still, like, I have some friends that people I'm still cool with from like I met when I was like 8, 9 years old. You know what I mean? So just kind of remembering, like, now they got families and stuff, and now I'm remembering, like, we used to do stupid stuff together, or they used to do stupid stuff, and I used to be like, man, you crazy, you know? So yeah, that's pretty.
So I've been implementing going to the skating rink every week, and it's actually pretty cool because, like, I go there and I'm having fun, right? But I burn like over 400 calories.
Cool.
Just skating within like 50-something minutes.
Yeah.
So I could technically probably burn over 1,000 if I was there the whole time because I just go do my thing and then I leave or whatever.
Yeah.
So I recently posted some stuff online about me being at the skating rink. And somebody I went to middle school with or elementary school with was like, oh, my God, I remember when we used to skate, 3 to 5 and 8 to 11. Like, I remember, they would start talking about memories of skating. I was like, man, it would be cool if, like, a lot of people who are in the real estate industry came out and skate because it was fun to me.
Look, we always be doing certain things. You should do something like that. I mean, I think that's a pretty cool idea where you can maybe try to get people, maybe do it for a good cause or just, have people come out and, skate and maybe have like some food or some drinks around it. Well,
every Wednesday it's free pizza to 8. That's what the skating rink is doing.
Yeah.
So my daughter, she was like, my 8-year-old, she was like, she went over, I can't remember why she went over there, but she went over there and she was like, Mommy, did you know that they had free pizza? And I was like, yeah, I knew that. And she was like, can I get a piece? I said, yeah, go ahead. So she went up there. She got her own pizza. And then, I was still skating. So she checked in. She was like, I'm going to sit right here because I can't go to where our stuff at. They said the sign says you can't leave this area with the food. I was like, okay. And so as I was skating, I was sitting there watching her. Then like when she got halfway through the pizza, I went over there, sat with her until she finished. And then once she was done, she got on the skating ring. And she doesn't like to skate, like for real. Yeah. But this past time, she let the little walker thing go, and she skated on her own. And I was like, oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I told her, I was like, if we come every week, by summer, I told her, I was like, you're gonna be able to skate.
Oh, yeah, way before that.
I don't know. My daughter's a little scary, so baby steps.
Yeah.
Tiny baby steps.
If y'all go every week, though, I mean, I would say within about 8 to 10 weeks, I mean, she'll be probably, I mean, I'm not saying like, going around crazy, but she'll be probably confident enough to be able to do it. But we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told her by summer, at the latest. Yeah. But yeah, she had fun. She actually had a lot of fun. And then I've been getting on my older daughter, like I said, because she hasn't been really working out that much. So she was like, I'm going to go too because I need to get in shape.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's funny.
But it's actually pretty cool. It's a good time. A lot of people need to come out Wednesday night. Free pizza. If you're a parent and you don't feel like cooking on Wednesday,
just come get the pizza.
Go get the pizza. It's free.
Yeah. But I'm assuming you got to pay for like
entry.
Yeah, the entry to get the skates. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got to pay. You pay anyway. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so they give you free pizza. You pay to get in. I got my own skates, so I only pay for admission.
Yeah.
Now, my kids, they don't have skates.
Yeah,
so I have to
pay for their skates.
But eventually, I'll get them skates as we keep going. Going.
Yeah, making the thing. That's what's up. So this week, mortgage real estate. Any things come up that you saw? I know we had the economic forecast, which was pretty cool.
There's a lot of information, guys.
A lot.
Yes.
A whole lot of information, man. I mean, it was...
I feel like a college student who just couldn't focus. Like I had ADHD. I mean, it was chart after chart after chart. Information after information. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, it was a whole bunch. I forget his name, man. I know he was. I think he's the owner of the Housing Wire, and he was in Cali.
Is it Habib? No, not Habib.
Not Habib. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Henry.
Nah, I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But it was good though. Yeah, he had a lot of good information. I invited a couple of my referral partners out. I know Sophia did as well. So it was pretty cool. He was streaming live from, I think he was in Cali. Like Sophia just mentioned, it was a whole bunch of information. To sum it up, what I got from it was, a lot of the myths and things that we've been hearing in the industry about, the market, we're going to be back like how it was in 08 and 09 and all those things. Basically all the data and all the information said that wasn't going to happen.
Correct.
And that, right now, actually, we're trending in the right direction as far as, rates are now getting to start to go down, with the Fed, saying, hey, we're going to have some cuts this coming year. One thing I've been seeing too, Sophie, I don't know if you've been seeing this. I've been seeing, the beginning of the year, we typically get an uptick in production and just applications because of, new year, people have goals, they're trying to be a homeowner, especially because we deal with a lot of first-time home buyers, right? But I've had a lot of conversations with folks that I've gotten pre-approved, and I don't know if you had these conversations, but because, through the media, they've heard that the Fed is going to, cut the rate down, the Fed rate, I should say, 2 to 3 times this year, which should have a positive impact when it comes to, mortgage interest rates, right? Because again, like we said before, when the Fed cuts the Fed rate, that's not like cutting mortgage interest rates. Like that's not the same thing, right?
No.
But I've been having conversations with folks, so I've got them pre-approved, and they're wanting to wait until they see the Fed start making those cuts because they think that, hey, even though I'm pre-approved now, if I buy right now, I'm going to miss on getting an even better rate. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have you had any conversations with any people like that? I've had I was over the last couple of weeks, of folks, and I always let them know, hey, we can, you can always refinance later, if rates do go down, which they should, but, by waiting, what you're going to do is you're going to lessen your opportunity of being able to get the home that you want, because you may find the home that you want now, and you may still have, which I'm seeing, you can have the ability to negotiate, maybe getting closing costs paid. But once rates are lower, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to try to get, closing costs paid or even maybe get it at the price that the house is listed. I mean, I think it's going to be a pretty big, not as much as the pandemic was when people were paying, $30,000-$40,000 over asking price. But I do feel like on multiple offer situation, you're going to see closing costs kind of not there. You're going to see people probably bidding $5,000 to $10,000 over and trying to get these homes.
And you're probably going to see a lot more agents cut the commissions for the buy side.
Yep.
So I feel like since last year, interest rates has always been a topic, right?
Yep.
So it's always been, hey, when rates go down, this is when I want to buy. When rates get back to where they were, this is when I want to buy. Yeah. I even had somebody call me a couple days ago, and they were like, is now a good time to buy? And all I could say is from my perspective, right, anytime that you have ownership in your own property, it's always a good time to buy because at the end of the day, you could either pay your own mortgage or you could pay someone else's.
Correct.
And that's going to always forever be my stance on when home ownership, right?
Correct. Yeah, especially people who don't currently own their home. Like I can understand if you already own a home and you're already building equity because you're paying your mortgage each month, and you want to be a little bit more strategic on hey, when I want to sell my house or when I want to jump out there and buy a house. I can understand that. Yeah, but for our first time home buyers, starting that clock of you now getting equity and you actually being able to dictate terms, which it's crazy because a lot of our first time home buyers that I have conversations with, I'm pretty sure you do as well, they don't really understand the power in buying right now when there's not as many buyers out there, right?
Exactly.
So right now, as we always keep saying, is that, with it not being as many buyers in the market, which is actually, it's been increasing over the last couple months, but still not as many as, the market normally has, I would say, right, historically. You're able to dictate terms. You're able to maybe buy a house and not have as much money out of pocket at the time of you buying a house, right? Now, what could happen, though, is you can be waiting for these interest rates to go down maybe another point, and your payment be maybe $150, $200 less, but you're may having to come out of your pocket another $10,000, $15,000. So how long is it going to take you to recoup that $150 savings that you're having on a monthly basis, but up front you're having to come out of your pocket $10,000 to $15,000, right?
Absolutely.
So and on top of that too, when it comes to just like your house is the house that you want is the house you want, right? So there could be houses that are out there right now that fits what you're looking for better than this summer, right? Yeah. Or, the spring. So, at least starting to look and find something. I don't think you should just limit yourself, even if you're already pre-approved. If there's nothing else that's limiting you as far as like you're in a lease or anything like that. If you're able to buy and you're pre-approved, I think right now is a really, really good time because I'm already starting to see multiple offer situations starting to happen. I have a buyer who put an offer on a house yesterday. I talked to a listing agent last night, multiple offer situation. He was trying to talk to me, trying to figure out which offer he should take. And that's what I'm saying. We're already starting to creep back into that, that environment. Oh,
absolutely. Again, Absolutely. Yeah. And, when in my opinion, like I said, if you're in that type of situation and you feel like that you want to wait, don't wait. Yeah. If you could do it now, do it now. Because you can always refinance. Correct. Always.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is a 6-month waiting period in most cases or 6 billing cycles, but you can always refinance if rates get, if like I said in the last podcast, if rates get low, I'm refinancing. I'm there with you. I just had a client who reached out to me and she just was like, has the rates gone down? And I had to have that conversation once again. Yes, they have gone down, but they still haven't come down to where you are.
Correct. Yeah, right.
So if you're expecting rates to get down to 3%, maybe not. That probably won't happen. But I do think it will get down to maybe high 4s. What you think?
Yeah, I think high 4s is probably like the best that we're going to see. Because that's normally, maybe. It could go lower than that. I don't know, but I'm thinking that.
I'm thinking of 4 in front. Whether it's low 4s, high 4s.
Yeah, there you
go. That's what I'm going to predict.
Yeah. I'm hoping for that too. That would be great.
You could buy it down to the 3s. Yeah. That's what I think.
Yeah. And I just seen an email. I got an email. The guy name that did an economic forecast is Logan, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name.
Let me see.
You might have it better than me. Right there, Logan.
Oh.
Tashami?
It is Tashami.
Yeah. I guess I don't know how to enunciate the first part, but yeah.
The last part is Tashami for sure.
Yeah. But he, like I said, it was pretty cool.
Tashami?
Yeah, Tashami. That might be right. That sounds good. It sounds right. It sounds right. But no, that was cool. We had the economic forecast. We also had the CPI report came out yesterday as well.
I haven't even taken a look at the CPI report.
Yeah, I took a look at it last night.
I'm learning with you guys today.
Yeah, I seen rates actually went down a little bit yesterday by about an eighth.
Yeah.
Because
I saw
of
that.
because of the CPI report. You saw that part, right? The more important part, right?
I saw that.
Not the data, but what the data
Right.
did. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got you. But yeah, now the CPI report came back favorable for interest rates because of inflation still being where it was at. So it did have a positive impact on it, where it came in a little bit higher than what people are anticipating as far as the number from month over month last year, or not last year, but last month in December. So yeah, I mean, that was good stuff. That was good news.
But that's because the CPI report. I would have predicted that it would have came in better.
Yeah.
Just because it's coming off, holiday month.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more spending going on.
Yeah.
A lot more jobs in the market because there's seasonal jobs and things like that. So it does make sense.
It does make sense. I agree with you 100% on that. I mean, especially this time of the year. I mean, that's when, a lot of people are, spending money for the holidays, traveling, just buying more food for,
Correct.
gatherings that are happening during that time of the year. So,
and then a lot more jobs come out because it's seasonal employment. Like a lot of jobs hire just for the season because they know that they're going to be overwhelmed with the production that they have to, put out to the consumers. So,
correct.
I did expect that. I did.
Yeah.
Now, come next month though, hopefully, we keep everything trending up.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but have you had any situations this week that you saw that came about that you think would be good information to share? Just dealing with some of your buyers. I will say, shout out to the start of the year. I got 3 closings today, which is cool.
Congratulations.
My first closing, I should say, of the year is going to be today, and I got 2 other ones as well. It's pretty funny. I got one of my buyers. Her last name is Royster. So if anyone knows out there, that's my name as well. Nah, at least I don't know her.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Because didn't you met someone with your last name?
I did at Cavell's function at his 40 under 40. Yeah, it was a person who got an award. I think her name is Danica Royster.
And she ended up being family, right?
No, I don't know. So I talked to her dad, and her dad was talking about like the lineage and kind of going back. And so he didn't say anybody that I knew of, but he does have lineage that goes back to North Carolina. And that's where all my lineage, for the most part, at least that I know, goes back to. So we probably maybe are kin. I don't know. But it was pretty funny because, when it comes to like mortgage, we can't do loans for our family, right?
Right.
Technically, right? We can't do loans for our family. So I remember that on this transaction, because she's one of the ones that's closing today, on this transaction, because my last name was the same as her last name, underwriting was like, hold on, are y'all family? And I was like, nah. So I actually had to write a letter of explanation, or just write and sign and say, hey, this person is not related to me. So
that is funny.
Yeah. So I was going to get I could have been a jerk about it and been like, yo, so if my last name was Smith and my buyer's last name was Smith, would they have to also do the same thing? But
because that's a very popular. I get
correct.
Yeah.
But because of the name Royster, I understood where she was coming from, and I know underwriter's job is always to try to uncover any type of thing, any type of suspicion on the things that that comes up on their radar. But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, because my family, I moved here in like the mid 90s. My dad got stationed here, man, and we were the only family here. So I don't have any family to my knowledge that is here. You know what I'm saying? So all my family is North Carolina, and spread up some other places they moved around, but not here in Virginia. So
it's funny because I used to work with this insurance agent. Her name was Kayla Baker, and so my hyphenated name includes the name. My married name is Baker. And so people used to say, is she related to you? And I'm like, no. Baker, same last name, but no relation.
Gotcha. Yeah. It is. I mean, Baker is more of a common name.
Is it? Really?
Than Royster, I would say. Heck yeah. How many Roysters you know besides me?
I don't really know that many Bakers either.
For real?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like Baker is way more common than.
I think it is more common than Royster, but I didn't know that Baker was like common though.
No, I mean I wouldn't consider it common like Smith or nothing like that. Johnson, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't consider that. But I mean I feel like it's like
a little bit more common.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
For sure. I feel like Royster is just like, I mean, again, it's just a very uncommon name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know somebody else's last name that's very uncommon.
Who?
My maiden name.
Oh, yeah. 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 Mm-hmm.
It's very uncommon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's true. That is very true.
My maiden last name, or even, I mean, I'm hyphenated. So my last name is Kifle Baker.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so very unique in its own way.
That's tough. Mm-hmm. That's very tough.
I used to get called by my last name when I was a kid, too.
Yeah, I remember the hyphenated thing. I remember that was a conversation. I remember growing up, you know, I was like, when I get married, man, I was like, I do not want my wife to have a hyphenated name. I was like, I want her to have exactly my last name. I did not want to be hyphenated. I remember one of my good friends, Carlos, him and his wife has, that was kind of a sticking point as far as a conversation, you know, when they were getting married, like, you know, if they're going to keep, you know, her name's going to be, you know, in the hyphen, if it's going to be hyphenated or if it's going to be.
It's all based on culture, though. Yeah, so if you married, you married an American woman. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So it's common for that to happen. But had you married a Hispanic woman, Russ would have been there somewhere. Yeah. She would have had like 10 last names, a couple middle names. So it really, it's all based on culture.
As I got older, because I mean, it really was, I don't know, you know, I was being stubborn. When I was growing, I was like, yo, I want it to be this way. But as I got older, as I'm older now and stuff and think about it, like, it's not that big of a deal for real. Yeah. You know, I remember, you know, I've heard people say for different reasons, like you said from your heritage.
Oh yeah, mine's 100%.
I've heard people say just like, you know, hey, I became a doctor with this last name. So,
you
know,
absolutely.
I don't want to like have to like rebrand or rechange. You know, change that all my documents has this name on it or whatever. So, you know, things like that. I used to kind of in the back. I used to be like, man, whatever. But now I'm like, I get it.
You get it, right? Yeah. For sure. Yeah, you don't want to lose that. And then all my kids, we all have the same middle name because technically in my dad's culture, which is kind of carried down to me, your father's first name is your children's middle name. Yeah. And your grandfather's first name becomes then your last name.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
So if my first name and my last name or my middle name is my dad's and my grandfather's name, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But because I was born in the U.S., obviously I had to take on my dad's last name because that's a thing that you do here, right, in the United States. But I did not marry an Eritrean man, right? Yeah. So I didn't want my kids to lose the lineage. I wanted them to know exactly where they came from. So what I did, which is different, but what I did was I gave my kids my middle name, the girls, right? So then they could carry the lineage of my father, and if they were to keep that going, they could. Yeah. And then my son, when he was born, I gave him his father's first name as his middle name. Gotcha. So I tried to keep it, you know, all together, but, you know.
That's what's up.
Just tried to do something a little different because it's when you marry outside of what your culture is, it's difficult trying to carry both. I don't even see how, like I have a friend, she married Jewish and I can't remember. I don't know if she's Christian or non-denominational. I don't know. I can't remember. But it's difficult when you have to, like, mix the culture.
Yeah, it is. It is. It definitely is.
That's I have another friend who
families,
celebrates.
That's why families, they be trying to keep, you know, you to marry within the culture.
What?
You know what I mean? That's what they try to do.
Absolutely.
You know? So because of those reasons and decisions that have to be made around, you know, things like that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yeah, that was the reason why I never had, like, a actual wedding. So I got married at the courthouse because of the cultural difference. Because we have 2-day weddings. Americans have 1-day weddings. Yep. One is, you know, regular attire. The second day is not. So it was just like this big mess on who was going to travel where and all this other stuff. And I just, at the end of the day, I was like, fuck it. I don't have the mind capacity to deal with this shit.
I understand. That is a lot. I know even preparing for my wedding, it was a lot. So just imagine trying to prepare for that times two.
And nobody lived locally.
Yeah. Most of my people did. I mean, I have some people, come like from North Carolina and travel and stuff. But
yeah, but that's nothing.
Yeah, some Chicago too. I mean, some, I had some people come from different places, but I mean, majority was definitely from here for sure.
Yeah, so. Majority of your people were from here, right?
Yeah,
majority of your party.
Yeah,
nobody, even in the wedding party, lived here.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody would have been local to anything.
That's one of the reasons why when I got married, I didn't have we just had like, instead of having like, groomsmen and bridesmaids, we just had one person. Like we had my best friend.
A best man and a maid of honor or matron of honor.
Yeah, because like the people that she would have had, they were all over the place. But they were mostly in D.C. though, so they were mostly kind of like.
Oh, they could have drove down.
Yeah. Well, they could have drove down, but it's just coordinating everything, like the outfits and making sure, because it wasn't like you had to like go to these certain places and put try on these certain outfits or buy them yourself. It was just a lot.
I know.
And so for me, fellas, most of my fellas, I had a couple here, but like my cousins, my family, like they weren't here, and then they cheap. I'll say that again, cheap. So it was just like trying to figure all that out. I was like, look, I'm gonna have my boy.
Isn't that funny? Like what you think is normal can be super expensive for somebody else, and vice versa.
Yeah.
That is so crazy to me.
Yeah, that's definitely it's a conversation to have all the time, man. It's a conversation to have all the time. But yeah, it is.
It's all about priority, man.
Yeah.
Because I have a family member that you spend $100 on something, they're like, whoo, that's a lot of money. But then in that same breath, go and buy cigarettes or, whatever vice.
Yeah. That's how my boy, we used to live together. I had a place and we were living together, and he used to smoke weed. And so my man used to spend $100 on weed a week, I would say. Like it was like literally, $20, $30 a day he would spend on getting weed.
That's what I said.
And then I'm like, bro, you buying weed every single day, but when it comes to like these other things that, again, that I hold her in higher regard, just, those things they didn't hold in the same regard, which you should hold in a higher regard than just something that you're, getting a, relaxation from or fix or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I mean, I know. I can talk about that all day.
All day. Yeah, it's so funny how people have, intentions to just want to do better, but they can't because of whatever is holding them back.
Yep. Yeah. That's true. That's very true.
So what else have you seen? I mean, I know that something that I wanted to bring up that I saw on the news, which you probably can be you're able to give a little bit more information because I don't even know who the coach is. But in the news, I recently saw that there's a coach for the Miami Heat who waited to accept a new contract.
Oh yeah.
Until after his divorce was final.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, you thought that was great.
Yes. What?
I'm surprised here from a woman's perspective. Like you think that was great. That's cool.
I don't know how long they were married. So
yeah, I know they got. I mean, the little report I read. I mean, they got like a couple of kids. I don't know how long they were married either. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't even... That
does take because you have to take that into consideration, because if it's a situation like LeBron and his wife, she been there from the very beginning. Yeah. Right? They were 18. Yeah. Going into this.
I don't think that they would, because I know the girl is...
But if he was established and they got together...
So I understand. I know the wife, I don't know if she currently still is, or I know she was at one point, because he's a Miami Heat basketball coach. She was actually one of the dance girls or cheerleaders for the Miami Heat. So I'm assuming he met her, within the last, since he's been coaching or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Funny. But I know he's been a part of that organization for a while, because I know he used to do like video for the Miami Heat back in the day, and that's how he got the head coaching job, because he was just already around the organization, and they ended up elevating him up as the head coach. So, but yeah, shout out.
I used to go to all the Heat games, playoff games, everything. Yeah. I remember when LeBron won the first championship, and they had that march. It was like, because I live downtown, so I heard all the hurrah from the arena. I couldn't even go to sleep that night because it was so loud on the streets. Yeah. And so then I went to my balcony, and you could see the people going around in a circle and stuff. That's cool. So it was pretty cool.
That's cool, yeah.
I've seen him play a lot.
Shout out to also too, because I know we got to wrap up because of the time, but shout out to all the coaches too that I know this week, like you mentioned, Eric Spoelstra. I know Bill Belichick. Him and he was coaching for New England Patriots for 24 years. I know him and him and the organization, they parted ways. So I know he's going to be trying to look for a new home to coach. And he's pretty much been coaching Tom Brady and the Patriots my whole life. So I know they're he's leaving there. And I seen Nick Saban as well. He retired. He's a great college coach. Both of them are probably the greatest coaches in their own sport, right, as far as college football and professional football. And I seen Pete Carroll also. He unfortunately got let go by the Seahawks, but he's a really, really good coach as well. He won the Super Bowl in the NFL and also won, national championship as a college coach. So,
okay.
I like leader of men, man. There's not too many leader of men out here, as far as, getting guys together and being able to, cooperate and all that stuff. So,
nice.
Dope.
Yeah.
But as far as I know this weekend you said that you're potentially going to DC, right?
Potentially. I haven't, quite decided yet. Really depends on how much energy it takes to get ready to go.
Gotcha.
That's going to be my deciding factor for sure.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be doing something this weekend though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I got this weekend, like I said, I'm probably trying to play golf on Saturday with the weather being very nice. Sunday, my son has another game, so I'm looking forward to that. We put in a lot of work this week, after he did very well his first game. So eager to see how he follows it up. With, like you said, my kids are out of school also on Monday with MLK Day. So I got us, it's a place we normally like to stay at the oceanfront. The Marriott and Embassy Suites right there. So I got us a room at the Embassy Suites on Sunday. So after his game, we'll go up there, eat some pizza or something, and then just kind of hang out, that weekend or that Sunday into Monday down at the oceanfront. Because the weather, like I said, is supposed to be pretty good this whole weekend.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
So they're looking forward to that. They love, for whatever reason, my kids have a love for hotels. Like they like jumping on the bed. They hotel, like we're staying in a hotel. Like they just love that. You know what I mean? So, they were excited about it. I asked them what they want to do, and that's what they want to do. So that's what we're doing. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so it should be cool.
Can you adopt me? I like to stay at the hotel for the weekend. Shoot.
Yeah. No, it's cool. It's cool down there. I think I got an Embassy Suite stay this time. So, and I also got a gift card to Orion's Roof that I got from my boy Lou. Shout out to Lewis.
Nice.
I got that almost a year ago.
Is it still good?
I don't know. That's where I'm gonna go try. I'm like, look, I was thinking about that. I was like, hold on. I know the kids gonna want pizza, so we probably eat some mellow mushroom after the game, after this basketball game. I'm thinking for dinner, I'm like, that area.
You got to make reservations because Orion's Roof,
and I know also this week, I think it starts on Monday, is restaurant week. Yeah,
okay.
Restaurant week this week
Well,
too.
you definitely want to make reservations because Orion Roof, for dinner,
yeah,
even during dead times,
yeah,
it's very packed there.
I'm hoping
all
because
the time.
it's Sunday that it's not as packed. But I'm gonna reach out though. I'll reach out and see what's up.
Definitely make a reservation because I remember I went and did like a staycation at the Marriott for a weekend, and we thought for sure because it was dead. Like it was nobody. I mean, it was dead because the room wasn't even that expensive. Yeah. I got 2 rooms for the cost of whatever one room normally is, right? Yeah. And so we were like, oh, yeah, we could just walk upstairs, get some food. No. And you know where we end up at?
Where?
Chops.
Chops. Yeah, Chops is good too.
Yeah, that's where we had dinner that night because Orion's Roof
And I was looking at Orion's Roof too. They got a new, at least from when I went there, they got some different stuff on the menu now too. I know
it's more Asian cuisine.
Yeah. That's what they are. But they got some curry stuff that I saw, and I like curry. I've been actually craving some curry. Bless you.
Oh, excuse me.
Bless you. I've been craving curry, so I was like, they got like this curry pasta and stuff. So I'm like, I'm gonna try something. That's what kind of got me to think about it. So hopefully I can use that gift card. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let y'all know next week if it worked or not.
All right.
Well, we appreciate you guys listening to the podcast. If you want to reach us, I'm Bryan Royster, so it's BRYAN_Royster. You can reach me on, any type of social media platform.
And I am SKB_mortgage. All right, guys, so we will see you next week.
See you next week.